Hello and good evening, all of you. Today is the third session of technical thing that we have started under Watch and Learn series. Already, we have gone through two technical sessions and we have started the chapter average of quantitative aptitude, and we are converting the problems of average topic into C coding. Before starting with the actual session, I would like to tell you that this is a pre-recorded session and this will go live on 13th of June. If you do have any queries regarding this particular session, you can write it into your comment box so that we can answer it afterwards. So, starting with the exact session, first of all, in the first live session, we have gone through assumed average. In the second live session, we have gone through weighted average, and now for the third live session, third technical live session under Watch and Learn series, we are going to see how a change in average problem is converted into a C code. It will be very interesting, you guys. Okay, so starting with the actual session, first of all, I would like to tell you that please like and subscribe our YouTube channel. Like this video, subscribe our YouTube channel. We are on Telegram also. Please join our Telegram channel, and also I would like to request you all people, please download our Shikuyaa app from Play Store so that you will get latest videos and notifications about the upcoming sessions. So it will be beneficial for you guys to download our app, to subscribe our channel, and to like this video. Thank you very much. Now we are actually starting with the session. So as you know that we have gone through assumed average, the second one is weighted average, and now for this session we are going to see how change in average problem is converted into C code. So starting with directly the example, as you can see behind me on the board, I have already solved the example so that you will come to know exactly what we are going to do and how we are going to convert a change in average problem into C coding. See, as you can see that this problem is particularly of change in average. We are directly going towards the example. How? I will tell you first of all the problem statement. What is the problem statement? The problem statement is the average weight of 7 members, the average weight of 7 members of a particular family is 18 kg. Please keep it in mind, the average weight of a family of 7 members is 18 kg. This is the first average. Now, if one member is excluded, that means one member is now not the part of the family or that particular average weight calculation. If one member is excluded, the average weight of the others would be 5 kg less. You just concentrate on the problem statement. I'll repeat it again. The average weight of 7 members of family is 18 kg. The first average weight is 18 kg. Now, the one member of that family is excluded from the calculation of average weight. After exclusion, the average weight of the others would be 5 kg. Okay, now what we have to calculate is then what will be the weight of excluded member. This is the problem of change in average. Now how we can say that this problem belongs to change in average? The first thing, the first average will be 18 or 18. Now one member of that family is excluded and then average gets changed, because if suppose we have calculated average weight of 7 members and one member is excluded, now that means only 6 members are present over there, so average weight may decrease, so that there will be change in average. Now what we have to calculate is what will be the weight of the excluded member. The member that we have excluded from that 7 members list, we have to calculate the weight of that particular member. So directly starting with the solution now. First of all, we break this particular problem into number of statements. First, the first average weight equals to 18 kg. As it is mentioned in the problem statement itself, the first average is 18 kg before exclusion of the member. 18 kg. We can name it as average weight 1. While calculating the first average weight, the number of members that time are 7. We have named it as N1. So N1 is equal to 7. Average weight 1 equals to 18 and N1 equals to 7. Now again, after exclusion of that team member, after exclusion of one member, average weight equals to, now see, we have excluded one member, and in problem statement itself it says that after exclusion of one member, the average weight of others would be 5 kg less. That means the first average is 18 kg as you can see that on the board. After exclusion of first member or a single member from that particular list, the average weight will decrease by 5 kg. That means 18 minus 5 equals to 13 kg, and we have named it as average weight 2. If you can remember, if you can concentrate, if you can remember the problem statement, what we have said, the first average weight equals to 18 kg as mentioned in the problem statement itself. We have named it as average weight 1. That time the number of members are 7 and we have named it as N1 for our reference. After exclusion of that one member, the average weight equals to 18 minus 5 because it is already explained or already there in the problem statement. So it is equal to 13 kg. So we have named it as average weight 2 and number of members are, now see, already there are 7 members, one member is excluded, that means 7 minus 1, now 6 members are there and we have named it as N2. Now how to calculate the weight of excluded member? There is a formula. Weight of the excluded member equals to average weight 1, which is 18, if you can remember, into N1, the number of members present that time, okay, minus average weight 2 after exclusion, average weight 2 into N2. Now if you can remember the names and the values of these variables, you can see that 18 into 7, which is the average weight 1, and N1, the number of members present that time, minus average weight 2 and the number of members after exclusion of one member, 13 into 6. So 18 into 7 equals to 126 minus 78. 13 into 6 are 78. So if you can calculate this, 126 minus 78, the answer will be 48 kg. So we can say that the average weight, the weight of excluded member from that 7 members list will be 48 kg. Again, if you, I am going to repeat this particular problem statement as well as the solution. Please concentrate. The average weight of 7 members of family is 18 kg. If one member is excluded, the average weight of the others would be 5 kg less. Then what we have to calculate is, then what will be the weight of excluded member? Okay, got it? Solution. First average weight equals to 18 kg. As it is mentioned in the problem statement, we have named it as average weight 1. And the number of members present that time are 7. So we have named it as N1. Okay. After exclusion of one member, the average weight will be less in 5 kg. That means we can say that 18 minus 5 equals to 13 kg. So the average weight 2 will be 13 kg. Number of members at that time, we have excluded one member already. So 7 minus 1 equals to 6. So the value of N2 is equal to 6. Then how to calculate the average, the weight of excluded member? There is a formula. The weight of excluded member equals to average weight 1 into N1 minus average weight 2 into N2. So we can say that 18 into 7 minus 13 into 6 equals to 126 minus 78. And the answer is 48. So by using this particular formula, we have calculated the weight of excluded member, and this problem belongs to the subtopic change in average. So I think you have understood all this question. If you do have any question, any query regarding this problem, you can directly, while watching the video, you can directly write that particular problem or your query into the comment box. So we will take that and answer you afterwards, right? So shall we go forward? Now we are moving towards how this particular problem is converted into C coding, which is very simple. Very simple. You know the procedure, you know the number of members, you know the average weight 1, you know the average weight 2. What you have to do is just average weight into the number of members minus average weight 2 into number of members after the exclusion of one member. So we are going to directly implement it in C coding. Let's go. Before that, I just want to repeat again, please like and subscribe this video so that you can have the notifications, and also download our app Shikuyaa from Play Store, and also we have our Telegram channel. Okay, so now we are moving towards the screen. As you can see that on the screen itself, as you can see that on the screen itself, you can see here already we have gone through already. If you can remember, we have gone through the basics of C language. That means what is hash, what is stdio.h, that all the things we have already understood. Okay, we have already explained. So before starting this thing, again I want to repeat, this hash is a preprocessor which is used to include all the statements or the functions already explained in C. This stdio.h header file will contain all these things, so we need to include this particular file in our program. As you know that already, we have already gone through this. Void is a return type. Void is a return type, which means this program returns nothing but 0, right? You have know the structure of C language. C language program coding is starting with main function. This is the very important function of C language. Now we are going to explain. How this program is coded. Okay. Please see on your screen. I would like to request that please take a screenshot of this program, practice it, run it, execute it, compile it in any compiler, okay, so that you will come to know how the exact program is running. Shall we start with the explanation? See, you can see that on your screen the program is there. We have declared some variables like average weight 1 and weight. I'm going to explain this, why these particular variables are declared already. After that, we have declared integer type of variables n1 and n2. Why? You already know that because I have explained in the problem. See, what we know the number of members, we know the first average before exclusion of the member, and we know after exclusion of the member the change in average. That things we are. But if we want to develop a program in C language, you have to display something so that the user can come to know what we are going to do, or what I am supposed to do. For example, see, first of all, if you want to develop a program by using C language of change in average, first of all, according to the problem statement, we are directly converting this problem into C coding, so that we have displayed by using a printf statement. As you can see that here I have written printf, which is used to display or print anything on the output screen. In printf statement, we have written enter number of family members. As we can see that in the problem itself, the number of family members are 7. But if you want to bring or type or use any number, you can use that. See, first of all, if we want to enter something, we have to store it. Before storing, how we are going to store the number in C language? By using scanf statement. This scanf statement stores the number into a variable that we have already declared. So we have used a format specifier. I already explained this thing, that format D is a format %D is a format specifier which is used, a format specifier of integer data type. So the number of family members are in integer, okay, and we have declared one variable, that is n1, so that whatever the user enters while executing the program, it will be directly stored into the variable n1 due to this address of operator. Okay, now we know that how many family members are there. Again, we have to enter the average weight of the members. Okay, so that we are again used printf statement, and in that we ask the user to enter average weight of family members. The user can enter anything, like he can enter 20, 25, 55, whatever it may be. Okay, again we have to store that number also in some variable, so that again we have used scanf statement, but now the format specifier is changed. Why is it changed? If you can see in the declaration field, we have used float data type for average weight variable. We have used float data type for average weight variable. That's why we have used %f as format specifier, and that thing that user have entered is stored by using the address of operator in average weight variable. Now you know the number of user have entered, number of family members, user have entered the average weight of all the family members. Again, if you can remember the problem statement, we have to exclude one member out of that 7 members. So printf, now excluding one member, the average weight is, after excluding, we have to calculate, after excluding the weight of average weight of all the members, remaining members, you know that thing is already mentioned in the problem statement. Printf, now excluding one member, the average weight is %f. %f. Why we have used %f? We directly displaying the thing over here. We are not storing anything. Okay, because %f is a float type. Why? Because average weight 1 we have already displayed over here as float. Okay, that's why we have used format specifier as %f, and this thing is displayed by using the variable average weight 1. How average weight 1 is calculated? How? If you can remember, n2 is equal to n1 minus 1. This is not the average weight calculation, this is the calculation of number of team members remained after exclusion of one member. Okay, so we have to again display after exclusion of one member how many team members are there or family members are there. Printf, remaining total number of members are %d, because n2 is declared as integer type variable. Okay, so we have used format specifier as %d, and that thing is stored in n2 and displayed over the screen. Now the final part or the conclusive part of this particular program is we have to calculate the average weight of the remaining members, or we can say that what we have to calculate, we have to calculate the weight of excluded member. Okay, see, you can see on the screen over here, weight equals to average weight into n1. The average weight is whatever the user enters, n1 means the number of family members before exclusion of one member, minus average weight 1 into n2. Now average weight 1 means what? the remaining average of the remaining family members after exclusion of one member. This is average weight 1 into N2. N2 is nothing but what? N2 is the number which is equal to remaining family members after exclusion of one family member. So again, we have to display the calculated weight as this is mentioned in the problem statement. So printf, the weight of the excluded member is %f because weight variable is declared as float, and that answer is stored in the variable weight. Again, I am going to repeat this particular problem. In void main function, we have taken a variables average weight 1 and weight. Okay, these variables are of type float. After that, we have again declared two variables n1 and n2 of integer type. First of all, we have to take the number of family members. So printf, enter number of family members. After user have entered the number, we have to store that number somewhere into memory, so that we have used scanf statement. Format specifier is %d as the variable is of data type integer, and it is stored by using the address of operator into n1. Again, what we have to do is we have to get the average weight of family members from the user. Printf, enter average weight of family members, scanf %f. Now we have to store the entered value by the user into the memory location, so that we have used address of operator and variable average weight, and the average weight variable is of type float. That's why we have used format specifier as %f. You can see \n over here in printf statement. That is nothing but you have to display that statement onto the next line of the previous line, so that this tab is used. Now what we have to do is we have to calculate the average weight 1. Now what is average weight 1? If you can remember, average weight 1 equals to what? Average weight minus 5, because after exclusion the weight will be decreased by 5 kg. That's why average weight 1 equals to average weight minus 5. And now what we have to do is we have to display the average weight 1. After exclusion of one member, we have to display the remaining average weight of the remaining family members. That's why we have displayed it over here. Now excluding one member, the average weight is %f as it is of data type float, and it is stored in the variable average weight 1. After that, what we are doing is we are calculating after exclusion of one member, how many family members are there remain. So we have calculated it as n2 is equal to n1 minus 1, as you can see that on your screen. So we have to again display it on the screen, so that the user come to know that these are the number of members that have remained after exclusion of the family member. Printf, remaining total number of members are %d. Why %d? We have already discussed, because n2 is a variable declared of integer type, and we have stored that number into n2. Now the final thing or the conclusive thing of this particular problem, which is what we have to calculate. We have to calculate the weight of excluded member. If you can remember, what we have to calculate is we have to calculate the weight of excluded member. So in order to calculate the weight of excluded member, if you can remember that we have already solved this particular example on the board. That time what we have done, weight equals to average weight into n1 minus average weight 1 into n2. Average weight is the first average weight before the exclusion of member. Average weight 1 is the average weight after exclusion of member. Okay, so we have to again print the answer by using the printf statement. The weight of excluded member is %f. Why we have used %f as format specifier? Because the weight variable is of type float. Now we are going to see if this program runs or not. Okay, in order to run this program, what we have to do is we have to go here. I want to tell you that we have used online GDB as the compiler. Okay, you can use any compiler so that you can execute and compile and execute the program. After pressing this, after clicking this run, you can see the first statement, which is already displayed, is printed over here. Enter number of family members. How many family members we have displayed in the problem? 7. So we are going to enter 7. Okay. After press enter, again we have displayed one statement which is enter average weight of family members. In the problem, we have seen that the average weight of family members before exclusion of one member is 18. Okay. Now see, if you can see that below, you can see that enter number of family members, we have entered 7. Enter average weight of family members, we have entered 18. Now excluding one member, the average weight is 18 minus 5. If you can remember, 18 minus 5, which is 13. Okay, so the problem is executing correctly. Remaining total number of members are 7 minus, we have excluded 1, 7 minus 1 equals to 6. And the weight of excluded member is 48. It means that by seeing this particular example, it means that we have successfully converted a change in average problem of quantitative aptitude into C coding. By having this particular technique, or we can say the process, if you want to convert any problem into C coding, you just have to go with the process. Okay, and that process is already mentioned in the problem itself. So follow that process and you can convert this thing into the C coding. I would like to thank you all people. As we have already said that this session is a pre-recorded session. You are going to see this on 13th of June. If you do have any queries regarding this problem, this C coding or this program, you can write it down in the comment box so that we can answer it afterwards. I would like to again thank you very much for attending this session. Thank you.